I'm Kate, that's Jamie, and this is Two Dumb Bees.
Join us as we navigate the realms of the supernatural and unravel the quirks of pop culture.
Come scroll with us. Hello, Dumb Bee besties. Welcome back. Have you seen Deliverance?
No, because I'm scared to watch it by myself.
That's fair.
I watched Zach Baggins' documentary.
Yeah, me too. I wasn't going to be watching Deliverance. Today we are going to talk about the Demon House of Gary, Indiana.
And it is quite the spooky tale.
This is for sure the scariest thing that we've looked into yet.
Because it's like, I don't know, as many people will say in the many interviews and whatnot you can watch, that there's so many credible witnesses to some of this strange happenings.
Yeah, there's a lot of witnesses from like health professionals to police officers, all kinds of stuff. So, and it seems like it came out of nowhere because it wasn't like the people before because it were like said anything about the house.
And I didn't look into it, but I would be interested to know like who lived there before and if they have said anything since like all this happened.
Yeah.
Did they I don't know, did they do something spooky in the house?
Right? Is it their fault?
So the case revolves around LaToya Ammons. I've heard Ammons or Ammons, so I'm not sure if I'm going to say Ammons because that's what I heard the most. Her mother, Rosa Campbell, and LaToya's 3 children who were ages 7, 9, and 12. It was in November of 2011 that they moved into a home located at 3860 Carolina Street in Gary, Indiana. And all 5 would go on to say that there is something demonic, there's something in the house. Normally, I would not give you someone's like full home address, but the house has since been demolished. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. I'm glad they did that. I was surprised. But
And don't go do nothing freaky there because the police will arrest you. So, FYI, all you little weirdos.
I wouldn't go there. I believe that place had something messed up with it.
Bad.
Yeah, she claimed that all 3 of her children were possessed by demons.
Yeah.
Not just one.
All did weird, spooky, possessed shit. So the strange happenings started almost immediately after them moving in, like a month later by December. They started noticing horseflies swarming like the inside of their screened-in porch, which is really weird because why are there horseflies in Gary, Indiana in the wintertime? Like, it's pretty cold by December, usually.
Yeah, and they had like big swarms of them.
And they would like kill them and they would just keep coming back.
They shouldn't be alive.
Everything here dies in November. It's the rule. If not October, because sometimes it snows in October just to ruin our lives.
Ammon's mother, Rosa Campbell, also said that the flies were there. So she was also a witness. She's a witness to a lot of this.
Because she lived with them. She was the living grandma.
Oh, I guess I didn't realize that. I don't know how I missed that.
Yeah, no, she lived here through all the shenanigans. She actually, I'll jump ahead a bit, not really that far, because she actually had gotten up in the middle of the night and witnessed this like dark, shadowy figure pacing the living room. But when she turned the lights on, like it was gone. And all that she could find were like large, wet footprints, which is creepy because
Yeah, that ends up being a theme, and I don't like
very
it.
creepy. They would hear like these thumps and bumps down in the basement, like footsteps coming up and down the basement stairs. Rosa and Latoya would get up and search the home, but they were never able to find anything. Like nobody creeping around. Latoya also said in the interview, she does an interview with the Indie Star. Um, Train of thought. Oh, she said that they would hear dogs barking like all around the house at all hours of the night, and they would like look out the windows. They would never see like any dogs outside or anything.
That's scary. I don't like that.
Yeah, because it's giving hellhound.
You made
Creepy.
it worse. I don't like I double don't like it now.
You ever watch Supernatural? Probably not.
Mm-mm.
It's
I
giving
don't.
hellhounds. So by March of 2012, they were terrified. On March 10th, the family was up late mourning the death of a family member, and they had some friends and relatives over. Um, and so this is one of the first cooperated by witnesses story
Yeah.
because while the adults were all talking and mingling, Latoya's daughter claimed that something pulled her off the couch. And then Latoya's son was like thrown into the freezer, just like out of thin air, like just thrown. Bam.
The things that they claim happen are like so extreme
That it sounds like
and
fantastical. Like
but
they're out of their mind.
it's always in front of rooms full of people. So it's
Yes,
like,
because later this same night, like all the people are still at the house, friends, relatives, what have you. The children were sent to bed, and then the adults heard Latoya's daughter screaming. When they got to her bedroom, allegedly, as claimed by everyone that was in her house, her daughter was levitating off the bed.
did they say how high? I don't think they did. I wonder.
No.
I do wonder.
In the Zach Baggins little remake skit, it looks pretty high.
Hmm.
I don't know if that was like
Based off
accurate.
of, yeah.
They all of the friends, Rosa, Latoya, they all circled around the bed and started praying. And a few minutes later, Latoya's daughter dropped back onto the bed, and she had no recollection of what had happened to her.
Minutes? A few minutes
Minutes.
later? That's a long
Few
time.
minutes.
It's not like they just saw her like maybe sort of floating and then she fell down. Minutes?
No, and I bet when you're like in that situation, those minutes, those were like the longest few
Oh, I
minutes
bet.
anyone in that room had ever experienced.
Oh my gosh. It makes my stomach hurt thinking about it. That's so scary.
Just a couple of tidbits because Latoya once went on to tell CPS that because CPS does get involved with the case. They basically suspected that Latoya was like putting all this in her kid's head, and it was like a big performance that they were putting on to make her happy. Um,
Yeah.
but we'll get into that CPS social worker later. But anyway, she told CPS that if the kids were not in bed by 11 p.m., that the spirits would come out and keep them up all night, banging things and throwing things around and grabbing them while they're in bed.
Those kids have to be so messed up.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Bro. They were able to get a minister to visit the home, and he told Latoya that the house was like definitely inhabited by spirits. Spirits. He instructed
Multiple.
her to scrub the house down in bleach and ammonia. And in all of my, I will just say, in all of my supernatural viewings, scrubbing the house down with bleach and ammonia has not ever been like
I'm pretty
a
sure you're
thing.
not supposed to mix those.
Right.
So, like, please don't do that. Yeah, that like makes mustard gas. Like, you can't use like bleach
Right.
in a
Isn't
cat
that
litter
why
box.
I was just gonna say that? That's why you can't use bleach in the litter box.
So, we may be
Well,
two dumb bees, but we know at least that. We won't mustard gas ourselves.
well, and you know, when I was watching this and typing it, I like didn't question it. But now that you mention it, why was he have them, or why was he having them mix these together? That seems sus. I don't like the priest anyway.
I don't really like him either.
Anyway, and he told them to use like oil to mark crosses on all of the doors and windows, and they had to anoint all of the members of the family with this oil. He also had them set up like a little. Oh no, that wasn't him. Never mind. She had two clairvoyants visit the house.
Ooh.
And the clairvoyants told them that it was infested with strong demonic entities and dark forces that were emanating specifically from the basement. They told her, GTFO, the best thing you can do is get out of here, leave. You like that? No, get out. But it was, she wasn't there because she had money to just relocate. Like, this was Gary, Indiana. It was not a wealthy neighborhood. She was lucky to have found this house for the price that she found it at. Like, she
Yeah. And that's
she
kind of
couldn't
what
just
it
move.
was is like she got the house really cheap and it was big enough for her family and yeah, it sucks.
So she couldn't just up and skedaddle. So the clairvoyants then recommended she place a shrine in the basement to purify the house. So Latoya did as instructed. She sat up a table and placed a lit pure white candle on the table next to a statue of the Holy Family. She then dressed in all white and went through the house with a stick of sage, quoting Psalms 91 and invoking God's protection. And then she placed her Bible in the middle of the shrine in the basement shrine. Um, they said that after they did the whole shrine and anointing and all that jazz, it did quiet down for a few days. And so they were relieved. Obviously, they thought that it had worked. They thought, cool, we got rid of them.
Right.
However, they came back and they came back with a vengeance. Worse, like worse than ever.
Oh no.
Latoya believes that at this point, her and her children were all possessed by demons. Her children's eyes would bulge and evil smiles would cross their faces. Their voices would be deeper, and sometimes they would speak in strange languages, speak in tongues.
I think I heard one
And
of the audio recordings of one of the boys, and it was yucky. I did not like.
it's uncomfortable. Um, and this, I believe, at this point is where the priest says that, and I don't like the priest. I feel like he's a showboater, but he said that he was there at one point and he placed a cross on Latoya's head and she started to convulse and he took the cross off and she stopped convulsing and then he did it again and she was convulsing again.
He
I
also said that
struggle.
he had to like talk a lot to her and do a bunch of stuff because the demon wasn't responding to I don't know. He really
Right.
if you really want to see an interview with him, you can find about 100 of them online. It's that I think is what his real job is now, is to just interview about this.
One really creepy thing that happened after she says that they were all possessed, her youngest son would sit in a closet by himself. It seemed like he was having a conversation, but when asked who he was talking to, he says there was a boy in the closet and the boy was explaining what it was like to be killed.
That's terrifying.
I think that if my child ever said that to me, I would physically pass away right there. Like, fly
Like,
away
what do you
like an
do?
angel, like when you get killed in Crash Bandicoot and he just turns into the little angel and flies away. That would be my soul leaving.
Like, do you call 911? I don't
No,
think
because
that.
then they call CPS on you because they think you're crazy.
Okay,
Because
yeah,
I do believe her children got taken away from her for a little bit.
they did, yeah. For sure they did. Mm-mm.
Eventually, things were bad enough because the oldest daughter would claim that she was being choked by invisible hands and she couldn't move or speak when this was happening. Kind of sounds like sleep paralysis
Yeah, that
almost.
definitely does. But as we learned, it is a theory that they take advantage of us being in that state of sleep. The Hat Man taught us that. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I guess it all just
Eventually,
depends.
mm-hmm. Right. I wonder if any of their shadow figures had hats. They did not say. Eventually, things got bad enough. Latoya was taking the kids to stay at hotels just so that they could get some sleep because they were not doing well in school. Sometimes she was not able to take them to school because they had been up all night. Um, but as previously stated, they did not have a lot of money and it was not feasible for her to keep renting hotel rooms.
Right.
So this is when they go to the doctor. They go see the doctor.
Yeah, this is where it gets real.
Real weird, as if it wasn't weird already. On April 12th, 2012, they went to see Dr. Onikiwa. Because of doctor patient confidentiality, he has refused to say anything other than the visit was bizarre. And he said he had never heard anything like that before in his life, and that he himself was scared when he went into the room.
Oh, wow.
Um, but if the other witnesses are to be believed, he was present when they all saw, I believe it was the youngest son. They were being examined by the doctor. Rosa was there. She was holding his hands. The hospital psychologist was there, the social worker, and I think the nurse. Um, and the youngest son just started freaking out basically, and he started like making weird noises and like trying to back away from Rosa, and she had him by the hand, and he like got backed up against the wall, and allegedly he walked backwards up the wall, flipped over Rosa, and like landed behind her.
In front of everybody.
And I would just like to note that after all this, the CPS worker quit her job and moved out of state. Out of the whole state. She left.
She said, I didn't see nothing. Bye. Forget my name. I was never
I don't get
here.
paid enough.
No. I think it says a lot, too, that Zach Baggins had the house demolished, because he's the guy who, like, he owns the museum full of haunted artifacts and stuff. So for him to be like, actually, you know what? No, this needs to be leveled.
No. Some spiritualists say that him demolishing the house, like, what if the house was the only thing that was keeping that negative energy inside, and he, like, just set
Let
it
it out.
free upon humanity. So it could, like, just be down the road somewhere. We don't know.
Oh no. I wouldn't. I guess yeah. Because if they were like attached to the house and now they're not.
Right.
Oh gosh.
Or maybe, like, demolishing it, closed whatever demonic portal hole was in the basement.
I hope so.
We don't know. We'll never know.
No, we'll never know. I'm gonna have
I did
nightmares.
like his documentary because he's like, I like Latoya's brother because they're like, he's interviewing him and they're like in the car because he's not going in the house, Latoya's brother. And he's like, Zach asked him if he felt safe in the house and he said no. And he's like, well, do you think that I'll be safe in the house? Do you think like it's fine that I'm here? And he said, I wouldn't be in that house.
No, when he brought those kids in the basement, I was like, no, why are you down there?
Right, because like potentially if something is in there, like what if it gets on you?
Yeah,
It can like cling to you.
they were already possessed. They had all those exorcisms. They gave the oldest daughter an
I don't know.
exorcism.
Why would you go back in there? I would not ever.
After that, they were still receiving a lot of activity with the house, like the blinds. Carl, please go lay down. The blinds and stuff like continued to drip the oil, which when me and Jamie were trying to like figure out this timeline and what they meant, because it kind of depended on like what you were reading or listening to. Everybody kind of was like, nobody ever really said where the extra oil was coming from, or it wasn't necessarily described like if it was the oil they put on. But to me, it seemed like the demons were making more oil to just be like, haha, fuck you. Like your
Right,
oil
because
doesn't mean
the
anything.
priest at one point said like there was like copious amounts of oil that seemed to have no source.
And there was also like weird goo leaking out of the bricks in the basement too that they said like would make you sick if you touched it.
Ugh. Weird goo is never a good sign.
No, I don't like the weird devil goo.
Makes me scared to like ever buy a house. How do I know if it's haunted?
Yeah, I don't know. I got really lucky with this one, I think. Don't get anywhere with a basement, maybe. That might help. I don't have a
Just go to a
basement.
clairvoyant and be like, "Can I just like rent you for a day to go house shopping with me?"
Might not be a bad idea for anybody buying a house. If anybody has any tips or tricks on if your house is possessed or not, let us know.
I don't think ghost inspection is on the list of normal inspections.
Yeah, do we need to be carrying like little meters now when we go?
I think so.
So so they gave an exorcism to the oldest daughter and they gave an exorcism to Latoya. When they gave the exorcism to the daughter, they made Latoya and her friend leave the house and left the daughter alone with the priest for the exorcism. And like, I did not love that.
Yeah, because absolutely not.
No, I did not like that. And like, there is like a history of exorcisms becoming deadly and people dying. It's very much a thing. The exorcism of Emily Rose. I'm pretty sure that's like. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
it's totally based on a true.
Yeah. Yep. But Eamons swears by her story and has been really open after Thea quits. So Eamon swears by her story. She's been unusually open while she spoke on condition while she's spoke on the condition of her children not being interviewed or named. She signed releases letting the Star review medical, physiological, and official records that are not open to the public and not always flattering.
I think the fact that she was willing to like provide their medical records, like I get not wanting your minor children's names blasted for the media and everybody to see, but the fact that she was willing to give their medical records to be like, look, proof, like, look at this proof. I'm not crazy. Like,
I
this
feel
shit
like
happened.
she's been really honest through the whole thing. And I mean,
Just makes it more believable.
yeah, to me, this one really, ugh, I don't like. In the whole portal under like the stairs, and it's like a Michigan basement. It's like a dirt floor basement. I mean, it's in Indiana, but that's what I don't know.
Because my grandma had this basement and she would like make me go down there with her when she would put salt in the water softener. And now that I'm older, I know that she was probably making me go down there with her so that I could like call for help if her old ass fell down the stairs or something.
Probably.
But like the back wall of the basement just had this hole in it that went like just straight out into the wall, like a little tiny, you would have to like army crawl into it and you could
Hmm.
shine a flashlight in it and you could not even see the back of it. And it was terrifying. And I never got off the bottom step of the stairs. I don't even go in my own basement after dark.
Yeah, I dig not having a basement. Do I wish I had more room? Yeah, but also it's nice not having to worry about it or it being creepy.
I
I have
mean,
a
it can
crawl
be
space,
creepy.
but I'm not
It's
getting in
not
there.
creepy in the daytime.
Right.
It's not creepy in the day. It's fine in the daytime. It's like the nighttime when it gets to be a little creepy. So like, I gotta really be needing some work clothes the next day to go down there because I do have to go down there for laundry.
But yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape. I don't think we're gonna be being haunted by 200 demons. I'm happy that we
Hope
don't
not.
have portals to hell in our basements.
Right. Ooh, and have you ever seen A Haunting in Connecticut?
Mm-mm.
That's another one that's like based on a true story. It's old.
I was
Creepy.
kind of surprised that, well, I shouldn't say surprised, but I didn't think that the Zach Baggins one was going to be as tacky as it was. I definitely thought that he would try a little harder.
It was so bad.
Because it
I
was
mean,
like
it
kind
had
of
its
hard to
parts that I
watch.
liked. Oh, for sure.
Slim. And it was only about an hour long. I think that he skipped over a lot of stuff and everything was just about like him. And it was annoying.
Yeah. And he's such a doofster.
I know.
I don't know if I can say that.
Well, you did. It's fine. I don't know if you can either.
Whoops.
Whatever. It's the truth. With what
We'll be
or
back
when.
to more of our normal content as Halloween's almost over.
This one was fun.
And Skinwalker was fun. And if you guys happen to see this before you see Skinwalker, go watch Skinwalker because
Yeah.
that one was good.
Yeah. We had a lot of fun doing Skinwalker. And we spent a lot of time on it.
And that's why it's good, because we did. We worked on that like behind the scenes for a long time before we ever recorded it.
Yeah. So, if you guys have any ideas for us, let us know.
In the comment section, it's that little box down there that says comments. That's where you can like talk to us.
Right. Since none of you do.
Like, subscribe, comment, interact with the channel.
The whole point of us doing this is for a community because all we're doing is Googling. Like, what are you looking at? What are you into? What are you trying to decode from the internet?
Check us out on Spotify because Caitlin posts us there too.
I sure do. So I guess on that, we'll say bye.
Okay, bye.